Welcome to this 35-minute Hatha yoga practice for hip and hamstring flexibility. We'll start today's practice lying down, bending your knees and placing the soles of your feet on the earth about hip-width distance apart. Soften your arms onto the mat. Turn your palms to face skywards. Allow yourself to be easy as you settle into this posture, as you settle into this practice. Let's begin by taking one nourishing breath together. Inhaling through the nostrils. Exhaling, letting go. Sign it all out. You might like to set an intention for your practice today. Otherwise, just thank yourself for showing up. On your next breath, separate your arms out wide at shoulder height, palms on the earth. From here, separate your feet slightly wider than hip-width distance apart, about the width of your mat. On your next exhalation, lower your knees over to the right, turn your gaze to the left. Inhale through center. Exhale, lower your legs over to the left and turn your gaze to the right. Let's do this once more in each direction. Softening into the hips and the belly, relaxing your face and your jaw. Return the soles of the feet to the earth about hip-width distance apart. Soften your arms the length of the body. Find an inhalation here. On your next exhalation, press into your heels, engage the glutes, tilt the pelvis, lift your lower back and the mid-back up off the mat. Continue to raise your pelvis, activate the posterior chain. Inhale at the top. And on your exhalation, mindfully lower down one vertebra at a time. This time, join your feet, your knees, and your inner thighs together. Inhale to prepare. Exhale, squeeze your thighs together, engage the glutes, lift the pelvis and the lower back. One mindful breath here. Inhale at the top, and on your next exhalation, gently lower down one vertebra at a time. Return your feet to hip-width distance apart. Guide your left knee in towards the chest, interlace your fingers behind your thigh. On your inhalation, begin to straighten your legs skywards. Exhale, bend. And again, inhale to find length. Exhale to soften once more. You can continue with this dynamic stretch, or on your next inhalation, keep your legs skywards. Perhaps lengthen your right leg onto the mat. Know that you can always keep a generous bend in your left knee, particularly if you have tight hamstrings. If you'd like to deepen this stretch, you can place your palms either behind your calf muscle, your ankle, your foot, or somewhere in between. Utilize each breath as an invitation to go deeper into this stretch. With each inhalation, create space within the body. And with each exhalation, soften into the back of your left leg. Offer yourself one more nourishing breath in this deep hamstring stretch. Mindfully rebend your left knee and use the support of your right hand to guide your knee across the body, relaxing your left arm onto the mat, perhaps turning your gaze to the left, supine spinal twist. Notice the stretch for the outer seam of your left leg, the outer hip, your glute. Breathe into any regions of sensation. On your next breath, mindfully guide both knees in towards the chest, lower your left foot onto the mat, and let's find our dynamic hamstring stretch with the right leg. With each inhalation, lifting the leg, and with each exhalation, bending your knee. Know that you can continue with your dynamic stretch, otherwise keep both legs extended, doing your best to stabilize your pelvis, soften into the chest and the belly, allow yourself to find stillness as you rest in awareness, noticing the breath and the unfolding sensations of this posture. Offer yourself one nourishing breath here. Gently re-bend your right knee, and we'll find our spinal twist with the right leg. Sometimes when we come into a twisting posture, we can begin to constrict the breath. So see if you can guide each inhalation deep into your lower belly and into the pelvic bowl, and really utilize the core muscles to help you exhale gradually with fluidity. Mindfully guide both knees in towards the chest, palms under your thighs. Let's take a few spinal rolls, finding a nice release for the back body. When you're ready, rock up into a tabletop position on hands and knees. Let's mobilize the spine with our cat and cow. Inhale, open the chest, arch the back, gaze forward, send your tailbone skywards. Exhale, press into your palms around your spine. And again. Return your spine to a neutral alignment. Tent up onto your fingertips and step your right foot in between your palms, coming into our low crescent moon, aligning your right knee atop of your right ankle. If you like, you could keep your fingertips on the earth. Perhaps rest your palms atop of your right thigh, or if you like, reach your arms skywards, opening your chest, shining your heart forwards. Noticing the stretch for your left hip as you root firmly into your right foot, creating a stable and sturdy foundation. With each inhalation, feel yourself channeling energy upwards, becoming light within the body, within the breath. With every exhalation, allow yourself to go deeper into this hip stretch. Inhale in your crescent lunge. On your next exhalation, return your fingertips to the earth. Begin to straighten your right leg, flex your foot, half monkey. Square off the hips, doing your best to align your left hip atop of your left knee. Continue to lengthen your spine and the back of your neck. Create space along both sides of the waist. Pay attention to the sensations in and around your right leg. Notice if the intensity of this stretch inspires you to constrict your breathing. See if within this experience you can soften your breath. Is it possible to create a little bit more space between each breath? Plant your left palm onto the earth. On your next inhalation, reach your right arm skywards, open your chest to the right. Notice if the right hip wants to journey with you. See if you can lower your right hip towards the mat. Find an inhalation here, create space. Exhale, right palm on the earth. You can keep the torso elevated, or if you like, walk your arms a little further out in front and melt your heart towards your right leg, allowing yourself to surrender to this posture. Surrender to your unique experience. On your next inhalation, rebend your right knee, return your foot to the earth, tuck your back toes under, straighten your left leg, high supported crescent moon. Stabilize the pelvis. On your next exhalation, begin to straighten your front leg, lifting the hips, coming into an expression of our pyramid pose. For this variation, we'll keep the back heel lifted. You can keep the spine lengthened or melt your heart towards your front leg. Know that you can always adjust the distance between your feet if that's helpful, or perhaps bend your right knee. Allow yourself to take the modifications that are right for you to help you honor your practice, to help you honor your breath and your body. Mindfully rebend your right knee, lower your back leg down, step back to tabletop. It might feel nice to sway your hips from side to side, releasing any tension. And when you're ready, step your left foot between your palms. Know that you can scoot your right knee slightly further back if that helps you with this stretch. Finding your modification, either palms on the earth, on your thigh, or reaching your arms skywards. Notice if when you raise your arms you begin to puff up your rib cage. See if you can continue to open your chest whilst guiding your ribs down towards your hips. Press lightly into the big toe mound of your left foot. This is going to help us engage the inner seam of our left leg. And without moving your left leg, think about drawing your left heel back as though you were going to scrunch up your mat. This is going to help activate the back of the left leg so that we can really work a stable foundation while we stretch deep into the right hip. Find an inhalation here. On your exhalation, lower your fingertips onto the mat. Gently straighten your left leg, half monkey. Square off the hips, lengthen the spine. Stay present with the sensations in your left leg and breathe. On your next inhalation, reach your left arm skywards, open up the chest. Again, notice if your left hip wants to travel with you. Continue to guide your left hip down towards the mat. Feel the opposition between these rooting and rising energies. Find an inhalation here. Exhale, mindfully return your left palm to the earth. If you like, you can keep the torso elevated, otherwise deepening this stretch, melting your heart towards Mother Earth. Finding softness, letting go. On your next breath, rebend your left knee, tuck your right toes under. Exhale, lift your back leg. Stabilize the pelvis, find your foundation. Pause for the inhalation. On your next exhalation, straighten your left leg, flex your foot, square off the hips. And what we mean by that is to keep both hips level at the same height. Think about guiding your left hip back as you send your right hip forwards. Notice where you feel this stretch. Notice where you can soften. Is it possible to find a little bit more stability and clarity within the context of this posture, within the context of your breath? And gently re-bend your left knee, lower your right knee down, step back to tabletop, and this time you might like to circle your torso or moving in any way that feels nourishing for you. Begin to slow down your movements. We'll meet in child's pose, guiding your hips towards your heels, resting your forehead and your arms on the mat. Feel your connection to Mother Earth. Recognize that you are deeply supported here. There is great love here for you. You might like to take this opportunity to remind yourself of the intention that you set at the beginning of practice. Otherwise, simply noticing your experience with loving compassion, free from judgment. Walk your hands back towards your shoulders. Use the support of your arms to help you mindfully rise up, taking as much time and space as you would like. Rest the sits bones on the mat. Join the soles of your feet together. Open your knees and your hips out wide as we come into our seated butterfly forward fold. You could always stay upright, otherwise allowing the spine to round as you hinge your torso forwards. Soften into the outer glutes and the hips. Breathe. Mindfully rise up one vertebra at a time. Roll the shoulders back and down. Close off your hips. Straighten your left leg. Guide your right knee atop of your left knee as we come into our half cow face pose. Again, you can stay upright or hinge forwards. And now if this posture proves at all inaccessible today, you can definitely place the sole of your right foot towards the inner seam of your left thigh. Continue to soften into the back, the neck. Guide your breath towards the back of your left leg. Relax your belly and your face. Breathe. When you feel ready, gently elevate the torso, straighten your right leg, and either come into your half cow face pose or your head to knee pose with the left leg crossed. Recognizing that you might have more spaciousness, more mobility on one side of the body. Continue to honor your experience. Allow yourself to let go of any narratives or any expectations you might have for this stretch. On your next inhalation, gently rise up. Roll the shoulders back, extend your left leg out in front, and from here we'll come into a forward fold, Paschimottanasana. Know that you can definitely start off with bent knees, rest your belly atop of your thighs, and if this feels okay for you, begin to straighten your legs. I personally like to point my toes in this stretch. Know that you can relax your feet or flex your feet for an active stretch. Lean into what feels right for you today. Offer yourself one more nourishing breath in this deep spinal stretch. Use the support of your arms to help you rise up. Come into a comfortable seated position. On your inhalation, reach your arms skywards. Exhale, side bend to the right. Inhale through center. Exhale, side bend to the left. Inhale to rise. Roll the shoulders back. Close the eyes and rest your palms in your lap. Gift yourself this space to cultivate a deep inner awareness, a deep appreciation for your practice. Notice the ebb and flow of the breath. On your next inhalation, reach your arms skyward, stretch the torso. Exhale, palms to heart center. Let us round off today's practice with the mantra Om. Inhale to prepare. Om. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining this hip and hamstring Hatha yoga flexibility practice. I would love to hear about your experience. Feel free to leave a comment down below. And if you haven't already done so, subscribe to this channel. Sending you love and light. May you have a beautiful day.